Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Nur Intan Putri Ayuni with student ID 20030500001, and today I will explain the material about comparing and contrasting. This is the contents of the material. There are the language of comparison, comparative sentences, writing a paragraph of comparison, the language of contrast, writing a paragraph of contrast, science experiment, and the last is about gathering data for. Alright, the first content is about the language of comparison. Affirmative sentences. The first with be. John is a student, George is a student. So we can make the sentence comparison. John is a student and George is too. John is a student and so is George. And then with other verbs. Japan exports cars. German exports cars. So we can make Japan exports cars and Germany does too. Japan exports cars and so does Germany. And the second is about negative sentences. With B. The blue dress isn't expensive. The green dress isn't expensive. So we can match. The blue dress isn't expensive and the green dress isn't either. The blue dress isn't expensive and neither is the green dress. Second, with other verbs. Owls don't sleep at night and mice don't sleep at night. So we can match owls don't sleep at night and mice don't either. Owls don't sleep at night and neither do mice. So the example for this material is about Alan runs 4 miles a day, Peter runs 4 miles a day. So we can match Alan runs 4 miles a day and Peter does too. Alan runs 4 miles a day and so. Right, now I will explain the second point is about comparative sentences. So for activity 1, sentences are based on the paragraph above. Rewrite each sentence using the words is the parenthesis. You may need to revert back to the paragraph. So for example, the Monitor and the Reporter are both weekly magazines. So we can make the comparative sentence like the Monitor is a weekly magazine and so is the Reporter. Alright, we move to the third material is about writing a paragraph of comparison. For the activity, you can choose one of the following topic to write a comparison about. And then, before writing, you begin to write the first draft of your paragraph. Make a list of similarities, the two things you are comparing. So, this is my paragraph comparison. I will read that. Dina and Dino are two students who are very similar from their physique to their personality. Both have the same face shape, which is oval, and both have brown and beautiful eyes. They are both in the same grade level, namely class 10A, and they are the smartest children in their class. Another thing that is similar in this student is their nature. Dina is friendly and so is the Dino. Finally, both students are always the center of attention and the other student always think that they are twins. Alright, we move to the fourth material is about the language of contrast. So the first is we use ER and more when we are contrasting two things. For example, an is funnier than Beth, an is busier than Beth, an is cuter than Beth. Beth is more serious than an. Beth is more creative than an. Beth is more athletic than an. And the second is we use EST and more when we are contrasting three or more things. So for example, Don is nicest person in the class. Jane is the tallest man in the class. Lim is the busiest person in the class. For example, yang menggunakan most. This is the most important capture in the book. This is the most valuable diamond in the store. This is the most expensive car in the parking lot. The parking lot. So for the activity 1. Alright, we move to the next material is about contrast. For the definition, the contrast is a rhetorical device used by a writer to emphasize the differences between two people, places of things. At its most straightforward, contrast is the opposition between two objects with their differences highlighted and explained. So for example, you can see that paragraph. Alright, the sixth material is about writing a paragraph of contrast. So I write my paragraph. You can see in my paragraph there are topic sentence, signal words, and concluding sentence, and supporting sentence. Alright, we move to the seventh material. Is about science experiment. So for the definition is scientific experiments are often done to show comparisons and contrasts. So this is the example. You can see it is experiment and the one question and the answer. So you can see the paragraph to answer the question. What is being contrasted in this experiment? And my answer is, in the experiment, the paper wrapped around a copper rod and burnt didn't burn. But when the paper is burnt by wrapping it around a wooden stick, the paper is scorched. Therein lies the contrast. So copper is a better conductor than everyone. This is the last material. Is gathering data for comparison and contrast. So if you have traveled to or meet people from other countries, you know that there are both similarities and differences between cultures. In this activity, you are going to write a paragraph focusing on the differences between one aspect of your culture and that some uh, aspect in another culture. So before writing, you can make a list of questions of your topic that you can ask someone for another country, and then make a list of the differences on your topic between your country and your partner country. And you also can choose one of the following topics for your paragraph. The first about eating habits, also climate or tourism or social custom or education. Okay everyone, that's all the explanation by me. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.